You made me shed tears, Rebecca. Like my type. Need him in the dick. Dane Atos. I really don't know anything. It is time. Do, 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 do. That's the wrong music. Why is it taking such a long time? Hi guys, happy Onyx Storm release day. You won't be watching this on the release day, but I am filming it on the release day, so happy Onyx Storm release day. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Lily. I am an anxious girl who reads, and if you're not new here, welcome back. You guys know what is happening. We're going to read Onyx Storm.
It is time.
Why are you... Do, 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 do. Again, that is the wrong music. Sadly, I was one of those unlucky souls who had their hardback copy cancelled from nowhere without a message. I still haven't even got an email about it. It was just moved to my cancelled orders, so I immediately had to go and buy the quite expensive Kindle version. I'm very happy that I have a Kindle at this moment in time, but I have the other books. No, wait, I thought I had the other books in hardback. I don't. I have them in paperback. I could have just gone to my closest bookstore and bought the paperback. Why did I... I was dead set on the fact that I had them in hardback. I haven't even looked at them in my shelf. I was so sure that I had the other books in hardback, so I was like, I am not buying a paperback. I want them to match. Nope, they wouldn't have matched if I got in a hardback. I could have just gone to... We only have one bookstore here in Sweden in most cities, bigger cities, which is Akademibokhandeln. The paperback is expensive as fuck, but probably would have been worth it. Anyways, I paid almost as much for the Kindle version now, so I will be buying a physical copy at a later time. I will be reading it on my Kindle now because I'm not leaving my apartment. I had school this morning and I was pissed that our teachers scheduled a lecture on Onyx Storm's release day. So I had to travel an hour to a different city because the lecture was at another university. Then I had to travel an hour back, and now I'm finally here with it in my hand, and I'm not leaving my apartment until this is done. I'm not doing anything else. I don't have school again until Friday, so I have 2.5 days to read this. It probably won't take me as long. I have a feeling I will be done with this by tomorrow, because I will probably... This might just turn into a 24-hour readathon, depending on, but most likely, because that's what happened with Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I have a little Violet, Violet Soaring Gale, and Ternac, and Ten and Darna down there, and then we have the Riders Quadrant right here. I keep moving the opposite way than what the camera wants me to. Anyways, I haven't redecorated. I thought that I would redecorate my Kindle because I have more Fourth Wing stickers for this release when I bought it on my Kindle, but then I forgot about it, so we're just gonna keep it. But I have dressed for the occasion. This is threaded by Sabrina's wing leader, Fourth Wing, with Sigil, or however you pronounce her name, Sigil on it, and there's also a little added detail of Xaden and a blue heart on the sleeve. I also have her stunning Riders Quadrant sweater in brown, which has Andorna and Ternanak on it, which is also really pretty, but I needed Xaden safe and with me, so he's gonna sit right there. Let's get on with the video. I'm so excited! Okay, so I just finished the first chapter of Onyx Storm, and already I was like, the chapter ended, and I was just like, no, no. So it's already very, very exciting, which we love. So I will continue. Got my little setup here with my little clicker in my hand, and then I made a cauldron of hot chocolate so that I can snack on it. And then of course I put on an Onyx Storm playlist. I haven't even finished the second chapter yet, but I needed to do an update. What you just saw was me reading the second chapter, or some of the second chapter. When the sexy guy kills a bunch of people for you. Why is that so attractive? Oh god. Oh, just the action and the excitement of this book is already it already has me on the edge of my seat, because I'm just so nervous and so stressed about what's going to happen. But I gotta mention already, I love Xaden and Ridoc especially, but I also love Sawyer, who we've seen a little bit, and Garrick and Bodhi. Such a crush on Bodhi, so I am looking forward to him showing up. But I'm also scared of him showing up because I don't want him to die. I don't want anyone to die, but Xaden, Ridoc and Bodhi are absolutely not allowed to die. I want to see more of, is his name Alaric or Eric? I can't remember, but he's the prince, whose real name is Cam, but he's posing as a different name, Alaric or Eric. I want more of him, and I want more of Liam's sister Sloane. That's where I'm at right now. And Xaden had the best move. She took someone's weapon from them, and then she just said, "Mine now." And I'm like, that's right. I just need to talk to you guys for a second, because I'm scared. I am so freaking scared. So, say then just said, promise me. And she's like, you're leaving now. Healing in, blocking out the rest of the world. Promise me, Violet, please. He'll never go too far, never lose his soul, so I know. I promise. He just made her promise I just need to talk to you guys for a second, because I'm scared. I am so freaking scared. So Xaden just said, promise me. And she's like, you're leaving now. He leans in, blocking out the rest of the world. Promise me, Violet, please. He'll never go too far, never lose his soul, so I nod, I promise. He just made her promise. Swear you'll sound the alarm if I go too far, that you'll keep it safe, even if it is from me. He just made her promise to kill him, or to make sure that someone else does, to tell people that he is Venom if he goes too far. What counts as too far? Is she ever going to actually do that, no matter what? Is she going to have to end up killing him? Do we have a Wanda and Vision situation on our hands? Because I will protest if we do. I will hunt Rebecca Yaros down, and just why? No, I don't like it. Xaden went, I love you. Xaden kisses me hard and fast, and it's over before I can even process it actually happened. I love you too. I grab his hand as he withdraws. There's not an L there. As he withdraws. Just... I don't like it. Okay, so I'm about 100 pages in and I have some thoughts. So, I have decided this is going to be a vlog with spoilers because I cannot talk about this and not talk spoilers. But, so there are some things that have like stuck out to me that make me nervous. One thing was when the venom came from the inside and went to try to free Jack Barlow. First of all, why are they going for Jack? Why would they, like, what is it that makes him not indisposable? Either he knows something that the Venom don't want the others to find out, or they think that he might have information for them from being locked up in Basquiat. But, Jesus, that's... Am I orange? I can't be... Why am I yellow? Here. Is it... Have I been yellow there this entire time? Am I seeing things? So, either they think he knows something that they want, I'm lifting you a little bit, or something else is going on that we don't know about. At the same time, the Venom also said, not the silver-haired one, we need her, and Violet immediately thought, oh, they need me because of Xaden, to keep like control of Xaden and use me to control him, and get him to their side. I don't think that's the case. I think there's something else going on. I think there's something else going on that makes the Venom want Violet, whether it's because of a second signet, which, speaking of, I have a theory. Me and Emma discussed this when she tattooed me, because she had heard that Violet's signet might have something to do with knowledge, because she consumes knowledge, she knows a lot of things, knowledge calms her down, there's a lot of like ground for that being her second signet. I think that could be true, because Violet has done a lot of things, spoken to like dragons, like when she walked up to the biggest black dragon that there is in Iron Flame, and told him that like, we need you, will you come? Because Tan had already awoken that wardstone in Arisha, that they needed another black dragon at Basquiat. And that, like, if anyone else had gone up to that dragon, I don't think they would have survived that discussion or confrontation or whatever you may call it. So I think that, and we know that the dragons are very like, knowledge is important to them. They keep their knowledge very close to their chests. Because Violet bonded Andarna too, she has known more than most all the time, because she knew about feather tails and all of that because she bonded with Andarna. So I think that knowledge could very well be something. And another theory that I have that would support that theory is that everyone's second signet is something mental if they already have a power signet. We've always known that Xaden has a power signet because he has his shadows, right? That was the first signet that we knew that he had, and that's a like outwardly physically powerful signet. But then we found out that he's an intrinsic, or whatever it's called, that he can sense people's intentions, and that is more mental. And the same with Liam, because Liam had the signet that we like knew that he had was Farsight, but then when he jumped dragons in Fourth Wing and jumped onto Violet's dragon, jumped onto Tan, she noted that he had ice picks in his hand, which would make his second signet Ice Wielder, or it would make him an Ice Wielder, which supports that theory. So since Violet already has lightning, which is her power signet, I would argue that her second signet is a mental one. That is like the only theory that I have right now. I've just been like, I want more of her squad. I want more, because like Xaden and Ridoc is like my favorite duo. They are hilarious. I laugh out loud every time that they come on the page. their bickering and like that moment, like just Ridoc in its entirety, but Ridoc paired with Rhiannon makes for such a funny duo, because when Rhiannon like tried to pull Violet back a bit when Violet stepped in for Dane, which was an amazing moment because I love that Violet stepped in there. We'll talk about that first, because Violet had thought a couple of chapters before, that she is not a great leader. She is not meant to lead. That's Xaden, Dane, or Rhiannon's job. People like them are good leaders, and they should do that, and not her. The thing is, Violet has everything that makes a good leader. She just doesn't know it. Like, she's smart, she is a problem solver, she's effective, she stands up for the weaker, or not for the weaker, but for people who can't stand up for themselves or who someone won't listen to, she will speak up for them. She has no problems with delegating if she has to, but she will always try to protect people first, but she'll delegate if she has to. She's not afraid of sharing the burden, unless, like, of course she doesn't want to share the burden because she wants to protect the people she loves, but she will. So she can make tough decisions. She's powerful, she's crazy smart, like she's the smartest of all of them, I would argue, and she's the strongest of all of them, physically and mentally, like the things she has been through, the things she has seen, and just, I don't know, it's just like the way she carries herself and everything about her, it makes her such a good leader. And she showed that when she stepped in for Dane, because Andorna kept telling her that like Dane is not the strongest signet, Dane cannot de-escalate this situation, and Eric said that too, and as like a prince who has been trained in political stuff, he could tell that like Dane isn't going to be able to calm this crowd down. But Violet did what Dane couldn't. And according to Violet, Dane is a good leader. And I'm not saying that he isn't, but I think I would love to see Violet step into more of a leader role. Because I love Violet more and more in this book. I feel like she is definitely growing already in this book. Back to Rhiannon and Ridoc and the squad, I'm worried that we're not going to get to see that much more of them because Violet is leaving. And Eric's brother just showed up. We haven't met him yet, but they said that he was there, and Violet did not react. Like, she reacted well to that, but she wasn't very happy about it, because apparently he has a temper. And apparently he's going with her, and we don't yet know who else is going with her, because it's not up to Violet, it's up to this military officer, and we don't know who he will pick. So I'm like, for how much of the book is Violet going to be away from a squad? Are we not going to get anything? Like, maybe not nothing, but I don't know. At the same time, I don't want anyone to go with her, because I feel like if people from a squad are going with her, someone will die. So I'd rather someone we don't know that well to die instead. But we don't even know if Xaden is going with her, and I don't know if I want Xaden to go with her, because like, these two people have fought so hard for each other, and they have been through so much to be with each other, and I want them to be together. And apparently they're the first two in like centuries or something who, of a lightning wielder and a shadow wielder, who has had the signet at the same time, and that has only been like once before in history, and that's when they drove the venom back. So history repeating itself would be Violet and Xaden succeeding and pushing the venom back together, those two. But Xaden is turning venom, and I don't know how I feel about a possible new love interest for Violet, because I'm very torn on that theory that they might not be in game. I would much rather Eric go with her than Eric's brother, but no one knows that Eric is the prince except for a few people. And someone said something about like, shouldn't you put your father out of his misery because he has royal guards out searching for you? And that felt like foreshadowing that maybe in this book people are going to find out that the prince is among them, because Eric will have to step up and act the role of the prince. But he also told Violet that like, I'd much rather dismantle the family company or something like that, instead of stepping into it or taking a further role in it or leading it. He said something like that because someone said that I would much rather you be the heir than your brother, that you had been the oldest and Eric isn't. So he was like, well, I wouldn't. But I would love to have more of Eric as well. I just feel like I want more of the people around Violet, and I know that there is so much else going on, so I want, like, I love it as it is, but at the same time I want more of the found family because it's so, I love them so much. Okay, so update. Big update. A lot has happened in the last like 50 pages. So Garrick's second signet has been revealed. He is a distance traveler or a walker. The Venom called him a walker. I don't know if because there's a gleam in my glasses, so I'm taking them off. I don't know if the normal people call him something different, but Violet said that he wields distance and that one of those hasn't been seen in centuries. So that's definitely his strongest signet. He definitely saved both Tan's and Violet's asses. Like, he saved their hides. And Yaros really scared me for a second there. I really feared the worst for a moment when Tyrion's head cracked against stone and he, like, Violet couldn't feel him breathing. And that Venom, the silver-haired Venom who can wield lightning, and I feel like she can wield storms too. That Venom has like 2 signets or whatever the Venom's power is called. I know that they drew it from the earth, but I feel like she created that tornado that tossed them around. And I feel like, could she be one of the lightning wielders that have existed before Violet, or the one that existed that they spoke about before, that existed at the same time as the shadow wielder, and that is why they want Xaden, because there's something about a shadow wielder and a lightning wielder together. But she said, when you come to our side, choose me as your teacher and not, and the guy's name started with a B and I can't recall it, because he's subpar and she will be bound to him. So is he the one that she doesn't want Violet to pick as a teacher? Not that Violet is going to be on their side, but could he be a shadow wielder? And since there's something about pairing shadow wielders and lightning wielders, that would be like a poor choice. Or like, I don't know, I can't put into words, but a lot happened. I feel really bad for Marin, but I got what I wanted. I got more from the squad. They were punished together. I hate Colonel, now General Atos. He can go choke on a... I was stressing there for a minute. I mean, I knew that they couldn't kill, but the thing is, they could kill Tyrion, because I've seen theories being like, Tyrion could die. He's probably gonna die because she has Andarna, and she might not die if Tyrion dies because she has 2 dragons. And speaking of Andarna, she is an Irid. I don't know what that means, but an Irid scorpion tail. Andarna said that, like, when the Venom said that word, so the Venom obviously have more knowledge than the humans do, because clearly they're not human, because she's that Venom, the silver-haired one, because I mean Violet's hair is silver. Anyways, the silver-haired one said that, like, mortal memory is so short, so they have immortal lifespans, I assume, so we don't know how old she is. She could be ancient, and she knows a lot, so she knew what Garrick's second signet was, and she knows what Andarna is. And when she said that Andarna is an Irid, Andarna was like, I remember now, I'm an Irid scorpion tail. So scorpion tail is cool, because we didn't know that before, right? We didn't know what kind of dragon she is, because she can not shapeshift, but she can change the color of her scales. An Irid, I feel like I've heard that word before. I feel like that means, like, because it reminds of iridescent, but maybe she has pulled it from the word iridescent, and that she's like the colors of the rainbow, but not actually. But you know, since she can like change the colors of his scales. I just wanted to check in and yap about this new information because it got me really excited. And I love Garrick. I was so happy that he came to her rescue. I am worried for Xaden, as always, because he apparently lost it. And Garrick didn't have much choice but to go for Violet because Xaden was freaking out. So that doesn't bode well. And I got like, when Garrick held Violet down from Terran's back whilst Terran was knocked out, Violet had like a feeling of that she wished that Xaden was staying in Garrick's place, which you understand. But I was like, if Xaden turns Venom and they have to put him down, and we have a Wanda Vision situation on our hands, is it gonna be one of those things where like Violet gets comfort from Xaden's best friend? Some people have been like, oh, Bodhi's in love with Violet, but I don't think so. But it just, that possibility flashed into my head that maybe like Garrick and Violet, because if Violet survives this but Xaden doesn't, I could see Yaros do such a thing that like Violet and Garrick found comfort in each other. This is a wild theory, but I could see it, that they find comfort in each other and that they spend the rest of their lives with each other. I could see that. Okay, I just want to throw my theory out there before I find out and read the part, because Violet's trying to open her dad's book and they're talking about what possible name could be, and it's something about first love. And so Eric said, who's your first love, to Violet, even though Violet said that her father didn't know about him. And well, Eric didn't say who, but he said how many letters, and she said 6. And I haven't counted, but Holden, who's Eric's older brother, would be Halden. Wait, Halden. That's 6. That is 6. Did Eric's older brother and Violet date when they were younger and he was her first love? Because he just walked into the room when they were sparring and she went, shit. And then she went to Xaden and help Eric hide. Now, I don't know if Xaden has left the room or if he's just using his shadows to hide Eric, because of course his older brother would recognize him. But what if she did that to send Xaden from the room if Xaden has left the room, which I don't know yet because I paused immediately to go tell you what I thought. But I think Holden is the first guy she dated and is her first love. I was, in fact, correct. Holden and Violet dated, and he is certainly interesting. Apparently he cheated on her with a teacher, a professor, and Violet walked in on them, and it was 3 years since they broke up, so it's not that long ago, which I don't know what's going to happen. Is he going to get a redemption? He wants to apologize to her over dinner, and Xaden was staying out of it until Holden made the mistake to reach up to brush hair from Violet's face, and Xaden blasted him across the room. So Xaden's not happy, and with his recent lack of control, this is not boding well, and Holden is definitely coming with them to, or at least with Violet, to look for the hurrieds. So this is going to be exciting. I am like 230 pages in or something, so we're steadily nearing the middle part, so it's like almost 30% into it. But I like this new turn of events. I don't mind it at all. I don't know how to feel about Holden. He's charming, but I don't know if he's trustworthy. But if he turns out to actually like have that I'm a prince, puff my chest out, I'm so cool thing as a facade because he's like he has to, because apparently Eric has some issues with his father and such, so it wouldn't surprise me if Holden did too, and he did lose his brother, so he's a little bit broken. And you know how we feel about broken boys, okay? Fictional broken boys. Only fictional. Anyway, so I haven't decided how I feel about him yet, but apparently he's really handsome, so I hope they do fan art of him, because he sounds like my type. It's like 10 p.m, I am 40% in, and things are definitely escalating, which is about that time. And I am going to be throwing a sandwich into the oven because I'm starting to get hungry, and I will probably be staying up and finishing this because it is so good. I love the jealousy, like the level of jealousy from Xaden, according, like, when it comes to Holden, is just amazing. I love that he gets a taste of like his own medicine. Like my face when Mira just absolutely tore into Drake's groin. Like, I was so shocked because I had no idea that Drake was like, you know, important to the rebellion. Like, I don't think we've ever met him before, right? So when Mira stalked up to him and kneed him in the dick, I went, and then like, it was so funny. You know, the enemies to lovers lover in me was like, sexy. I also love that we get to see a bit of a, probably shouldn't do that, a bit of a more serious side to Ridoc. I am like, my crush from Bodhi is kind of transferring more onto Ridoc. We haven't seen Bodhi much at all, but the fact that Ridoc is getting so much page time is scaring the shit out of me, because I'm falling more and more in love with him, and I fear that he might die, because, you know, when a side character gets a lot of attention, it never bodes well. I'm going to take a tiny break. I'm going to assemble this once my sandwich has thawed, and as I said, make another cup of hot chocolate, and then I will be continuing reading. I'm so excited, but I'm so scared, but I don't really understand what's going on, or I do, but like, okay, so they've flown to Deverin or Develin or whatever it's called. I can't remember any names. Okay, I suck at names. I have the memory of a goldfish. But I love the way that Andarna's solution to everything is killing it. Like, anything she can, anytime it's a living thing that's causing trouble, Andarna is like, let's kill it. And Darren and Violet have to every time be like, no, let's not. And I love the way that since they're at a beach now, and Andarna was like, it's going to get in my scales like the sand, and Taryn's like, that's why I told you not to eat that turquoise. Because she wanted to eat a tortoise, and she wanted to eat the dolphins, and Violet was like, they're too pretty to be eaten. So her solution to anything is just she wants to eat everything, which is so funny. And then she like tucked her wings in and like ambled off towards the water, and I can just see this like a foal, just, but a really, really big clawed dangerous foal. But she's just a baby, and she's so cute. And the way that Taryn is like a grumpy dad who's like, don't go in deeper than your claws. It's so cute. It's adorable. Everyone's cut off from communicating with their dragons except for Violet. She's the only one who can communicate with them, and we don't know why. Like, I want to know why. Why is it? Because she has two? Is it because of Andarna? Is it like why? And the way that Atrium just roared in Ridoc's face and like spewed spit all over Ridoc, and Ridoc's like, screaming at me doesn't help, I still can't understand you. And it was so, like, it's sad, but it's cute how, like, Atrium was so frustrated that he can't communicate with Ridoc that he just roared at him. And the griffins looked so, like, seemed so sad, and the cat was, like, holding her griffin's face, and it's just, I want one. I want a dragon, I want a griffin, they're so cute. It's the greatest sorrow of my life that I will never, ever have one of those and be able to speak through a mind like... No, because this, like, 93-year-old lady just went... She wiggles her fingers at Xaden. I heard you saying you'd kill my grandson if he took another step toward your beloved young man. How illogically, toxically romantic of you. Swoon. Have to admit that kind of confident violence isn't what I pictured when Asher talked about you, but the brown hair, those, I guess, their brown eyes, and how utterly smitten he predicted you two would eventually be for each other. Well, he described you almost perfectly, Dane Atos. So, Violet's dad described Dane to Narelle and talked about how smitten Violet and Dane would be with each other eventually. Like, because he must have been here when Violet and Dane were just children. And then she says that to Xaden, of all people. But Xaden is a different person here in Deverell, or whatever it's called. Because he actually, like, there's so much, like, pain lifted off of him that he's just really, really sweet and funny and charming and just genuinely happy. And I'm so happy for him. But this is so funny. So funny. I love this 93-year-old lady. She is amazing. Asher certainly didn't predict that. He would have if he'd ever met him. I reach for Xaden's hand and lays our fingers. Aww. She just asked why she didn't stay with the crown prince, and Violet was like, I don't care if he has a crown, he didn't treat me the way I deserve. Narelle was like, you know your value, your father would be proud. Narelle didn't know that Violet's father was dead, which was really sorrowful that she found out this way. How, like, I get that Violet's father has researched a lot, apparently he has found a lot of things that no one else knew about, because, like, hello? How like, what else has his research found out? What is in these books? Because apparently he knows a lot of things that no one else does, and he knew that eventually he might die and Violet would need this information for the war, and that Violet's greatest weapon is a mind. But how does he know? Like, I mean, he predicted stuff when it comes to Violet's relationships and, like, other things, I guess. So I mean, I understand that he had a brilliant mind and was a brilliant man, but what is it that he knew, and how did he know that Violet was going to need it? Like, he left these books specifically for Violet and only Violet, and left clues that only Violet would be able to solve, and it seems that he has prepared her for this for her entire life. But how would he... I mean, he expected her to be a scribe, so then he would think that she would be able to save them with this information as a scribe, I suppose. I'm intrigued by Violet's father, because obviously he knows a lot that no one else knows, and I don't know. It feels like it doesn't make sense. But Violet is getting the books, so she's going to find out, I guess, what legacy her father left her and what he discovered. There's a lot of like historical talk, and it's, my brain's like, what? But I'm intrigued. I really don't know anything, I feel. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm sorry. Did he just say mum? Xaden's mother is here? First of all, how Violet definitely wielded magic on a magicless island. She I don't know what's going on with her hair and what's like that the other people had the same hair like her, and there are so many plot things that are like setting off that are not being tied off, just letting them unravel, and we don't know what's going on. But Xaden's mother? And I mean, I know that like things are going on with Xaden, the whole venom thing, but the first time they were in a magicless place he was fine, but then he wielded in that magicless place because he took magic from the alloy, Violet's magic, and now he's really snappy and short, and he asked if she wielded and she said no because she wasn't conscious of doing it. I don't think, like, she doesn't know that she wielded, but she has to have wielded. Like, that wasn't a storm. Just a couple of lightning bolts is not a storm. And I'm worried that he's going to wield from her, and I hate how snappy he is towards Garrick because Garrick has done nothing to deserve it. But Xaden is being a raging asshole towards Garrick over and over again, and I don't like it. I am almost 60% in, and it's just I don't even know anymore. My brain is not with me any longer. I don't have any theories. I have no idea what's going on. I mean, I hope that they find Undana's kind. I don't think that they're going to be able to fix Xaden. I don't think there is a cure, or if there is, it's going to be like a Newt situation and they're going to find it too late when she's already had to kill him. No. A knife is embedded in Ridoc's side. I knew it. I fucking knew it. And I am so upset. First of all, my judgment isn't that great, as we found out with Holden. So, I am stepping back from any decisions on any new characters because my judgment is screwed. I hate Xaden's mother. I absolutely despise her. I hate everyone on this godforsaken island. There's a knife in Ridoc's side, and Garrick is not breathing. And I just want everyone to stop. I want it to stop. I don't. The idiot fucking yanked the blade free. Are you stupid? That was mean. That was Rebecca fucking Yarrows. That was so mean. I fucking cried for him. I cried for a dog. There are tears falling down my face. And it caught his flight jacket. It did not embed into his skin. It caught the edge of his flight fucking jacket, and Ridoc exploded on this cook because he hates sewing. I was so scared. You made me shed tears, Rebecca, for nothing. Nothing. It was a fake. I thought we were safe. So I'd rather someone we don't know that well to die instead. I thought we were safe with Garrick and Ridoc surviving. It's not really Traeger because he hasn't like been in the story for that long, but Kat was finally happy. She had finally moved on, and Traeger had a crush on Kat for so long, and they had finally gotten together, and then it's just a shock of it. Like, I knew that something was gonna go wrong. I just knew it, but at the same time, I did not see that coming. A part of me hates Rebecca Yarrows a bit. Oh, Jesus. if this is just so casually killing someone like that, killing a character like that, when they've finally given another character happiness, then I am wide awake now. First of all, I love Atrium's and Ridoc's relationship. Atrium just splashed him with water, doused him completely, and apparently Ridoc had like pranked him by pouring scratching powder on him, so he had to dunk himself so that no one knew that his rider had bested him. I don't know, they keep pranking each other and they're hilarious. Everyone left Violet alone on this island, and suddenly there are marks in the sands. Footprints. Dragon prints. And then 6 massive dragons that rival Sigil in size are standing in front of Andarna and Violet. They found them. They found them. It's 5 in the morning. And I just finished Onyx Storm. I am so confused. I cried. I did. I cried when Quinn died. Nothing happened the way I thought it did. I feel like Yoros wanted to leave out information to like make us have to figure it out, or to make it more intriguing or something, but I just felt like the last like 15% were just a mess, and I don't know if it's because I'm tired when I was reading it or if it's just a mess, but the first like 80% of the book was really, really good, and then after that it just kind of fell apart, and I feel like the build up that we had like built towards just completely fell flat, and I don't know, I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest. We did not need to be left with these many scraps. Like, there were things that could have been like left out from the first part of the book, or like gone through quicker from the first part of the book, that would have meant that the last part of the book could have been more evolved, and hopping into Rhiannon and Imogen's perspectives could have been more clear, and Xaden's perspective as well, and it was just a mess. The ending kind of left me feeling like I don't even want to read the next book. I'm disappointed. Like, 771 pages for that, because on my Kindle it was 770 something pages for that ending. Seriously, she's been gone for 12 hours. There's a wedding ring on her finger. Xena said, "Don't look for me. It's yours now." She looks to Imogen and he's like, "What did you do? What you asked me to?" Hello? Like, that sucks. That's not, like, that's trying to make something intriguing that isn't, like, the whole Arik thing, his signet that he has been manifesting this entire time. We spent half a second on that, and I get that that was in the heat of battle, but when she got the package, she was not, like, when Sloane gave her the package, like, why didn't Violet open it? She was not in the middle of battle then. They were waiting for her to attack. Why did she not just quickly look at it and then put it back in her pocket? That could have changed so much. Like, there were so many stupid decisions made that were so unnecessary to the storyline, and that were just written in to, like, make it more exciting. But it didn't make it more exciting, it just made it more of a mess. And I'm just, like, really upset right now. That Quinn died is really, really sad, but, like, throwing us scraps of Imogen and Garrick, and, like, I'm not happy. I'm going to go to sleep, though, and I will come back and we'll see how I feel in the morning once I've, like, slept and become a person again and process this a bit. But right now I am disappointed. We have one tired girl here. I didn't fall asleep until like 6 a.m. Because I hadn't gotten ready for bed whilst I was reading it or anything, so I had to go and wash off my makeup and do everything like that, so it took a while before I came into bed, and then, well, like, came into bed before I went into bed. I can't think, I'm so tired. And then I was so upset at the ending of Onyx Storm that I couldn't sleep. And the thing is, I've been digesting it a bit now, and I've been thinking about it. I feel like the beginning of the book was a bit confusing, because there were a lot of, like, Yarrow switched up, like, the focus of the story a bit, because before it was the dragons, the friends, the, like, fight between good and evil, Xaden and Violet's relationship, and the signets. Those were, like, the focuses, and all of those, like, wove together in a way that was really, really good and made a really good, enjoyable, easily consumable fantasy story with characters that you, like, I would argue that it was the characters, including the dragons, I include all, like, sentient beings in the word characters. It was those that got people hooked, not necessarily, like, the plot, because, like, it wasn't that, like, I would compare it to, like, ACOTAR in that way, because it's more character focused than, like, plot focused. I finished my Iron Flame reread 2 days ago. Like, it's not long ago, and I was confused. There were characters that I had never heard of, they were introduced quite quickly, not given much of a description. As someone who read it on my Kindle, who couldn't, like, flip back to my map, I just gave up when they started traveling. I was also really upset that it took them so long to start traveling. Why did it take them so long to go after the most important thing that they needed to protect, like, a big chunk of land? Why would these adults, who are supposed to be really good strategists and good at fighting wars, because they're the leaders of a war college and the armies, why are they being so stupid? Why, like, that didn't make sense for me, but I was like, I'm just gonna leave it. I love Violet, I love Ridoc, Rhiannon, I love the found family vibes, I like the intrigue with Xaden. It's hitting a bit emotionally because, like, it's difficult for him, and Violet's staying strong and she's holding on to him, and I love that she's fighting for him, and, like, all of that was good. And then they go off, and I give up immediately. I have no idea where anyone is, where any country is. Like, there's a tiny map in the beginning of the Kindle. I'm not hopping back and forth, it's too much work. I'm just along for the ride, you know? We get introduced to all of these different cultures and places, and it's not of any real importance, because in the majority of the islands that they go to, they fail with their mission. They don't get an extra army, and I get that, like, if I can get foot soldiers, sure, that would be a good thing, but foot soldiers aren't going to win this war, right? Foot soldiers aren't going to be the difference between Tyrrendor falling and Tyrrendor standing. The Irids are, right? That's why Andarna is so special and so important. So, like, that part, I was like, okay, well, this is, like, a bit typical, somewhere in the middle of a series book leading on to the next. Like, we've seen it with a lot of them. They're going on a mission, they need to find something, some keys, some weapons, something important. They end up in these different bunch of places, things go wrong, we lose some not so important characters, but still, like, not everyone makes it out. We find that weapon, or, like, not weapon, but we find what we need, because the Irids aren't weapon, and things go to shit. They fail again. It was expected, quite predictable. These pacifists of dragons who are disappointed by Andarna, whilst they have abandoned her to have one little dragon change all of, like, humanity and how they're structured, whilst the literal war is going on. So, like, do those Irids mean that, like, the humans, Andarna should have made the humans into pacifists as well, and then let the venom consume them all and murder and do whatever they want and take over, and have people just stand by and watch as their families are dying when they have creatures they're bonded to and magic that can fight them. Like, that's just, it didn't, are the Irids stupid? Are they dumb? What's the issue? And don't get me started on the whole Xaden, this is my mother shock thing, and then just, oh, so we're just gonna try to kill her and then just leave and never talk about it again. Just so many things that were just thrown out there and that happened, and so many characters. Like, what was Halden's purpose? Halden's purpose was to make Xaden jealous and to fuck up their deal with Deverelli or Denerello or something, so that Xaden had to wield again and become a bit more venom and make us frightened that he was going to turn, because that was what it all was building up to. And then when that exploded at the end of the story and he actually did like turn, but we don't actually know, but he wielded too much power for it to be Sigil's, and then we find out that he did it to save Sigil. That was a side plot then at that point. And just the whole, as I said last night, I think, or this morning, the whole like planning for this battle being so unclear and leaving the reader like without any knowledge, and then as it plays out still not giving the reader all of the knowledge, but it just becomes a mess because you have no idea what's going on. What's the plan here? Violet keeps talking about like, I need to pick one goal because Brennan said that, I need to do one thing, I'm gonna do that thing, and then she, like, we leave her while she's doing that thing and hops into a different perspective, and for half a second get to be in Rhiannon's perspective, which I didn't mind, but it came at the wrong time. And we're hopping to Imogen, and Quinn's dying, and like, that's okay, why, what, how, since Violet was separated from the rest of the fighting, because that was the plan apparently, then it's really confusing for the reader if we get thrown into someone else's perspective in the middle of the fighting. We don't know how it went this wrong, we don't know what the plan is, why did it go this wrong, because did you not plan properly, are people, too many soldiers dead and that's why they broke through? We don't have this information because Violet has been separated, and then all of a sudden we're thrown into this melee and we have no idea how it escalated that much. Why? Because we didn't get that information from Violet either, we haven't gotten that information from anyone. Like, that's, I don't know, that whole part was just a complete mess. We built this entire thing up just to not get to be there when Xaden turns, and for Violet to be like, oh, he's using too much, he's pulling from the earth again, he's turning more venom, shouts down the bond, I love you, and then just completely shuts that off. And like, I don't even understand why Mira walked off, which ended up with Mira being kidnapped by the venom, which made them end up in that situation. Like, not even that made sense to me, because it was Mira who had kept information from Violet, and then she finds out about Xaden, and then Mira's the one who stalks up upset, even though she's done the exact same thing that Violet has done, except that Violet kept someone else's secret, a secret that wasn't Violet's to tell, but Mira kept secrets from Violet about Violet. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm not even gonna like get started on the whole Andorna abandoning them thing just to show up 2 seconds later and be like, I changed my mind. Or like, what? You crushed Violet. You almost, like, if she didn't have Taryn, she would have died. So that you could be taught by your people, which I can understand that you would want, but after those same dragons treated you and yours so poorly, why would you still want to go like that? It doesn't. Onyx Storm, we didn't get the information before. We got the tidbits of like, you need to just focus on going after Theodorina, or whatever her name is. You need to end her. That's what needs to happen for you, Violet. And then that is what she tries to do, but at the same time we have this whole thing where like Taryn leaves to fly Mira's dragon away, and Garrick comes with Jack Barlow, and then they just walk him back, and it was just a mess, and the reader wasn't given the information that we need because there was no structure to the plan apparently. Like, the plan was barely a plan, it was a plot. Like, I'm just disappointed. It felt completely flat. I was hopeful because even though there were issues with the like first 80% of the book, because there were things that like, we don't really need this is too much, they're just hopping from island to island, like it's not giving us anything, it's just like unnecessary problems and drama. We need, like, everyone needs to focus. Even though that existed, I still love like we got to see the friendship dynamic between Ridoc and Violet, more like just the two of them because they were on their own. Imogen and Drake, the whole thing with Kat was very sad because she was finally like happy, and we got to see tidbits of that, and then that went to hell. Like, all of that was good and enjoyable, and I can understand it. But the fact that I cried more when I thought that Ridoc was going to die and Garrick was going to choke to death than in the actual, like, this is the upsetting part, means that fell flat. This whole, like, Violet and Xaden have been like, we're going to fight for each other, we're going to defeat this thing, even though everything around them tells them that it's hopeless. They found out that there isn't a cure, but now they have a, like, new reinvigorated purpose of having Xaden learn enough control to be able to live with this, sort of. And after all of that, we end up with Violet without a memory, a ring on her finger, a note that says, we're married now, it's yours, don't come after me, Xaden gone. That's where we're going to leave this? After this whole build-up, like, promise me if I go too far you'll kill me, promise me he's just gonna leave and be a danger somewhere else. Everything that was enjoyable about the Imperium and that was exciting about this series and good about this series, we just completely dumped that in the last 20% and went an entirely different route, and now I don't even know if I'm going to want to read the fourth one, because I don't even want to reread this. Like, the whole interior door with the Irid showing up and changing his mind, and I'm putting up your woods, like, the timing is suspiciously dramatized. Like, that was the only purpose for that timing, and Eric's whole mysterious comments, and then like, he can see into the future, but then the fact that he can doesn't even help because Violet's so stubborn that she won't even listen to him. At this point in time, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be continuing with this series, and if I do, it will only be for like Ridoc and Rhiannon and Imogen and Garrick's sakes. If you feel differently, please feel free to tell me so in the comments. I would love for someone to change my mind and to put this in a way that makes me feel differently. I've already seen some book talks that don't include spoilers, but where people are like, I'm 10% in and I'm so confused by all of these characters. Where are we? Who are you? What's happened? Like that, and I feel you. So it's not me alone that was confused, but with the whole ending thing, just I love dragons, and I loved Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, and I wanted to love this so bad, and I want to continue this series, so feel free to try to change my mind. That was it. I hope you enjoyed watching my roller coaster of a read of Onyx Storm. That's really all there is to say, isn't it? I'm gonna leave this here, so have a nice day, a week, a month, be kind to each other, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye!